Alrighty, so let me go back to the beginning here and view this like a student because at this point you've worked through your first lecture, and so now your first hands-on assignment. So just keep in mind, lectures are between you and me. When you submit them, I review them and grade them. But the hands-on and the current topics are done in discussion boards. And these will vary, of course, in what we do, but just know that they'll be submitted differently. Okay, that was submitted as an assignment. These are submitted as discussion boards. Okay, so now let's go in here. So what you're going to do now is you're going to learn a little more about markup. Since we started it last time, I showed you how it worked. I gave you the headings, I gave you the outlines. Now I've given you a link directly to this Markdown cheat sheet that I mentioned last time, right? So let's go back over here and look at the instructions. So for this work, you'll watch this video that you're watching now, and then you'll create a file called day.md and in this case, remember, this is because this is work that's being done inside a discussion, everyone be able to see it, you have to put this in your private, sorry, my bad, your public repo. Okay, so let's just do that. Let's just, if you're not logged in, go into GitHub, go into your public. And now in here, we could create another folder. We're going to use images later, right? But for this one, we'll just create a new file. So let's see, without me doing it, hit pause and see if you can create the file I'm requesting, the day.md file in the public folder. See if you can do that on your own. I'll wait. Okay, I won't wait long. So now, if you need a reminder, now that I'm in the public repo, I'll come over here, I'll create a new file. The name of that file will be day.md. Okay, and in here, what I want you to do is outline your day. Okay, do an outline of your day. Use some of this markdown that we've looked at. Right, so you can use either the ordered, the unordered, use headings. So, maybe do morning, lunch, afternoon, or evening, or however you want to do it. But as I say here, use yeah, use 4 or 5 different markdown styles. What I mean by styles are some of these, right? So I want you to use some bold, some italics. Have fun with this is pretty much my point with this, is kind of show off what you've learned here. You could even try an image if you wanted to. Definitely do a link, do some kind of ordered, unordered, block, bold, right? It'd be pretty easy to pick off 4 of these to use. Okay, now I'm not going to do it because that's the part you're going to do. And then what you will do is commit your file, right? And again, commit your file. Now this one, the way you're going to submit this one's going to be different. We still get the URL. Again, this is where you can preview it like I should. By the way, I didn't even show that because I assumed from before, and I'll just hit edit, that you're actually previewing that file because you've learned how to do that in the last one. So I'm not making any changes. I'm just reminding you. So now that I have this URL up, this represents the URL for that day. So I'm going to hit copy. And remember, this is different because it's in a discussion. So what you do will hit reply, and you could say something like my day. You get creative here, by the way. You don't have to use my content, but if you don't want to think about it, you can. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do a link. Now, you're going to learn HTML. So if you know some already, drop down into what we call the HTML editor. You can already see some there, but if you don't, that's okay. You'll learn it. But I'm going to select this content, this text that I've written. I'm going to come over to the icon that's shown here, which is a link. I'm going to do an external link. And then that's the text, right? And then that I will paste because I've copied it already, right? So good, right? Cool. So there we go. So now you have the link. So now what else do you have to do here, right? Is you have to write 75 words on your experience of doing this work, okay? And then reply to at least one person to get all the points for this. In order to get all the points, you have to have used the different markdown styles, 3 to 4 to 5 of them. Have fun with it, right? And do that. And then you'll write your experience, right? your experience. And again, right, this is also another, by the way, let me just show this because it's fun to do that here. Is like these are paragraphs, right? So if I wanted to, in this case, I'm not requiring this, but if I wanted to make this an H1, because you may have remembered when we were looking, H1, this is a tag. It's the beginning tag and the ending tag, the way you know the difference here. Again, it's not required, but if I come back down in here, notice what that does is it makes that a heading, right? So it's kind of fun to do headings. Headings typically aren't hyperlinks, but more than anything, I want to show you this little icon down in the bottom because we're going to use this later on in the course. Also notice what happens here is that Canvas actually gives it what's called a class. You'll learn about classes the more you learn about CSS. And then it gives it a target of blank, which is great. And the reason you don't want that, and I'll show you this now when I submit, which by the way, I haven't written the 75 words. That's the part you need to do when you hit this post right here. What that makes it do, and notice it actually, Canvas is adding the little icon here so that when somebody clicks on it, they go to a new tab. And that's really nice and the way things typically work on that. So I hope this helps you out, and I'll talk to you later.